All right, what's good, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Want to speak on Caleb Plant against Jose Uzcategui from last week. It was a great fight. The fight definitely went as planned. I just thought that Jose was going to pull it out, with his power, and I thought he was going to take over the second half, which he did. It just wasn't enough. Caleb Plant did enough in the first half, especially with those two knockdowns, to secure the win. We had a boxer, the defensive fighter against the big puncher. The problem with Jose to me is that he didn't throw enough jabs. He wasn't active enough. And, for you to be the puncher, to you to be the aggressive fighter that you are, you're the one that's usually coming forward. He just wasn't throwing a jab, just seemed to be trying to load up and everything and throw, land one big shot. And he was just getting outboxed. Caleb Plant has solid defense, good counter-punching ability, good lateral movement, and he used it, and he secured the win. I personally scored it 7-5 for Caleb Plant. That's without the knockdowns, too. But I think Jose won the majority of the second half of the fight. Okay, so I'm happy for Caleb Plant. I didn't know all that stuff about his daughter. I'm a fan of him, but I didn't really know, all this stuff that's happened this past week. It kind of made me even more of a fan of him because, everything with his daughter. I'm glad he was able to, happy for him. He proposed to his fiance that night, the girl that does the commentary for PBC. Beautiful woman. Happy for him. Congratulations to him. And, as far as 168, I'm rooting for him the most. I like him at 168. I don't know if he's the best. I think he still has a lot to prove up there. And, let me get right into that. At 168, you still got a lot of people. You got DeGale fighting Chris Eubank. A fight that could go either way. I mean, James DeGale has definitely fell off a bit. Chris Eubank is a guy that I never thought was really that good to begin with. He's been outboxed by two different guys, two really good boxers. Billy Joe Saunders schooled him at 160. Close fight. Eubank did come back, but wasn't enough. George Groves completely schooled him. All right. And, I'm not really impressed with him. He looks good against lower rated fighters, but when he steps up, doesn't look that impressive. So, I don't know where to go with that. I don't know how much James DeGale has left in the tank. I think James DeGale on his best day definitely schools Eubank Jr. But Eubank Jr. having that youth right now, the power, his aggressive, way of fighting, I think he can find a way to pull it off with DeGale, especially on the later half. But if I absolutely had to pick a winner, kind of little still leaning towards DeGale for this one. All right? Just DeGale to me is just a better fighter. I just don't know if he's better at this stage in his career, really. Let's talk about the champs, though. We got Callum Smith, who recently won the tournament. Beat George Groves up, stopped him. I think he's one of the top 2 or 3 guys at 168. All right. Callum Smith, he has good skills. He has height, has power. He's pretty athletic, pretty fast. He's a good boxer. Still think he's a little stiff. If I have to nitpick and find something, I think he's a little stiff. When I see him fight, when I look at some of his weaknesses, I see some Anthony Joshua in him. I think Anthony Joshua, a lot of people complain that he's a little too robotic, a little too stiff. I think he's getting much better, but I don't think he's as elusive nearly as a Tyson Fury or even a Deontay Wilder, even though I don't think Deontay Wilder is that skilled. Anthony Joshua is much more skilled than him. Wilder fights a little loose. He's more quicker. He's just overall more athletic guy. Joshua is a little, robotic, and that's what I see a little bit in Callum Smith. I think he could be outboxed, all right, but the guy that's going to outbox him has got to be willing to take the punishment, because Callum Smith can he could fight a rough, rugged fight, okay, and we saw that in the Rocky Fielding fight. That was the first time I saw Callum Smith fight, was that Rocky Fielding fight, and you know how he gets down. I thought George Groves was doing a good job outboxing him, but George Groves wasn't really able to take the punishment when it came, and Callum Smith jumped on the opportunity and stopped him. As far as everybody else, you got Gilberto Ramirez, who recently won, defending his title. Good pressure, rugged Mexican fighter. Me personally, I think Callum Smith can beat him. Okay, I think David Benavidez could beat him. I would love to see that fight. I think David Benavidez is the one to really, really look out for. I think he can possibly beat everyone in the division. Callum Smith looked better, looked good against Jose. But I think David Benavidez is a guy that is going to make a better use of his jab. He's just not like a guy that's just going to bring the pressure. He's going to bring smarter pressure. He's going to bring counter-punching ability. So he's also another big fighter. He's a guy that I think is dangerous at 168. I think he is the true boogeyman at 168 right now. Caleb, I still want to see what he can do. I think he can beat both James DeGale and Eubank Jr. It's everybody else I'm really concerned with, I would love to see Plant fight Groves. I would love to see Plant fight Callum Smith. Okay? I would love to see Plant fight David Benavidez or Gilberto Ramirez. I'm not trying to play Ramirez. I think he's good, but Benavidez is like, to me, I think he's just a little bit more skilled than Ramirez, I think he's more quicker with his hands. I think he's just a better boxer in my opinion. All right? So the division is interesting. It's not like one of my favorite divisions. I like the guys at 160 better. I like the guys at 175 better. But it's still interesting, to say the least. It's still an interesting division. We got champs, got fights to be made. We had the World Boxing Super Series tournament that Callum Smith won, but a lot of the top fighters wasn't in the actual tournament. It's not like some of the other divisions where most, like the cruiserweight division, a lot of the top guys at cruiserweight was actually in that tournament. We didn't get that at 168. So anyway, not gonna hold you guys. Got other videos to do. That's just my thoughts on the 168 division. Caleb Plant, congratulations. Jose Uzcategui, still a top dog at 168. Still want to see him fight other fighters. Still think he can possibly beat other fighters. It's just that night wasn't his night. He got outboxed, all right? So anyway, let me know what you guys think, and make sure you guys hit subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.